So much for tuning to this very station, Unity 93.3 FM. Is a lovely Monday morning, the 20th day in the month of May, the year 2024, and we are reaching you live from the hills of ZINARIYA in Jos North, Plateau State, Nigeria, the home of peace and tourism, the voice of reason. Ijiadomo is my name, and I am so happy to say to you that I am your regular anchor on this wonderful program, Unity Train, on your radio and TV. Apologies to you, our listener, this morning because we are starting a bit behind schedule. This is as a result of unforeseen technical issues, but then, thank God, we are on air. And so, we will never stop until it is 9:30 a.m. We have three different segments to this very program. The first is review, and this very time in the studio for the review segment of Unity Trend this morning is, to my right-hand side, Barrister Paul Lizaruma, and he'll be coming your way with a big good morning.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, viewers and listeners, depending on where you are receiving these signals from. I want to ask, how was your weekend? Prof, how was your weekend? Kulvi, how was your weekend too? I do hope that you will enjoy this program this morning.
All right, to my left-hand side is Professor Poveno H. Bahamayi. Remember that erudite current affairs and public affairs commentator, Dean Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, University of Jos. He's seated to my left-hand side this morning, and he doesn't come your way without a very big good morning. And of course, if you have eaten, and just after then, it will be about your goals. And so, listen to him now. Prof,
well, a big good morning to you viewers and listeners, and Kubi and Barrister, beautiful good morning.
Good morning.
Let me answer Barrister's question. I had a fantastic weekend.
Yes.
Full of activities, and even on the plateau, lots of activities. The people going on pilgrimage, Muslim pilgrims had a fantastic ceremony at the Rampang Stadium on Saturday. Over 500 of them sponsored by the state government. The governor was personally there to bid farewell to all the Muslim pilgrims who will be leaving, hopefully today, to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for the Muslim pilgrimage. And that is wonderful. And of course, over 300 special marshals also have been added to Plateau State. So lots of other fantastic activities over the weekend. Viewers and listeners, let me remind you of your goals, your objectives, your dreams for 2024. How far, so far, have you gone? Have you gotten that big farm that you were planning? Farming season has started. What are you doing about getting 1, 2, 3 or more farms? You know, we said the other time, one man, one farm, one woman, 2 farms.
One woman, 2 farms. That's
so, what are you doing about your objectives, your goals for 2024? What are you doing about that building project, that book that you're writing, that song that you're composing, that poem, that journey you need to undertake, that marriage, that new certificate, that new skill that you need to acquire? Whatever is your dream, your vision for 2024, make sure it is SMART. SMART means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And I must caution you that as you go about pursuing your dreams, your visions, your objectives, your goals, for 2024, you will meet obstacles on the way. You will meet difficulties. But in the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. You're going to meet resistance, but persistence breaks every resistance. So keep perspiring to acquire what you require in life. In case you do not acquire, don't retire. Keep refiring, keep refiring, keep refiring. Again and again, don't give up. You're not a failure until you agree that you are. Just because you failed once, or twice, or thrice doesn't make you a failure. Keep trying again and again and again. Anytime you're done, get up. and keep on the fight. Keep soldiering on. Keep moving on. Life will bring a lot of adversity on your way. But remember, be positive. Have the attitude of a winner. And as you have that attitude, you can be sure that you'll be able to accomplish your goals for 2024. And see, as you go about accomplishing those great, wonderful goals for 2024, remember to be the change that you want to see in the world.
All right, lovely. From Professor Pavelo H. Bama, you remember the weekend as established by Professor was full of events. And remember, before the Fridays in Zambarom finishing touches, there were lots of activities marking that very events. And so, you know, that Zambarom 2024, the celebrations of the Birom Nation's cultural identity, as if that was not enough. And then on Saturday, being the 18th day in the month of May, again, we had another serious event, which International Museum Day on the 18th, that's on Saturday, with the theme Museum for Education and Research. And the Irigwe people from Basa local governments were given the opportunity to be culture of focus, and that too was a great one. We celebrate our Plateau people for a wonderful celebration over the weekend. And again, I was with the Kefiano's Creative Hope somewhere around the Golden Bears Hotel there, Grand Ville Hotel. And it was a lovely one because Chief Kefas, known as Kefiano, you know, had sponsored not less than 111 youths on the plateau to undergo training and learn how to be digital marketing, videography, phone, and all that. And so we truly appreciate Mr. Chief Kefiano for doing that and for adding value to Plateau youth people. Without, you know, segregating whether this is Christian, Muslim, whatever, from any ethnic nationality. No, it was for everybody, and so we truly appreciate that. That too was at the weekend. And also, Mr. Luca Adam at Sauki Hospital, I pray that God will remember you for good and healings. And every other person that is sick, we pray God remember you for healings. Again, on this platform, very quickly before we look at the issues that we have, we love to congratulate Honorable Rufus Bature on your appointment as board member at Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, Kaduna. And also another big congratulations to Professor Al-Hassan Ghani on your appointment as chairman of the Federal College of Education, FCE, or Who Abia State. And another big one here again, congratulations to Sadat, Honorable Sadat Garga, on your appointment as board member, University of Calabar. And lastly, another big congratulations to Architect Pam Dong Gang on your appointment as board member, Federal Polytechnic, Oko, Anambra State. Oh, it's lovely. And so on this, let's just begin to look at the issues that we have even this morning.
I've forgotten my Oga in the congratulatory message. Alhaji Bashiru Musa Sati.
Exactly.
Congratulate you also on the same appointment.
Yes.
He was a former APC secretary in the state. He spent 2 tenures.
I see.
And he was eventually appointed senior special advisor to the governor of Plateau State on political matters.
I see.
And eventually President Tinubu appointed him as a member of the governing board of the university. We congratulate all of you and we wish you well, and we pray for more of such opportunities in the plateau.
Well, it's a season of congratulations.
Yes.
I think probably mine are too many. Let me just congratulate 3 of our colleagues who have been appointed as members of the governing council of different universities across the country. Congratulations, Professor Andrew Haruna. Congratulations, Professor Jennifer Audu Peters, who have been appointed as members of governing council of some of the federal universities in the country. And our own very dear former Vice Chancellor, University of Jos, Professor Hayward Mafue, has been appointed as the chairman of the monitoring committee of the National Research Fund of TED Fund across the country. He'll be leading 54 other prominent Nigerians and erudite scholars as he chairs a very sensitive committee of the TED Fund responsible for giving research grants to all the universities across the country and screening people who are supposed to get research grants. So it's a season of congratulations, and we keep congratulating many of our other friends and colleagues and mentors who have been appointed as members of governing councils of universities, polytechnics, and federal colleges of education. Maybe that's a good place to begin because this news has been trending over the weekend.
Sure.
Remember that last week we were screaming here that ASU will be going on strike, and one of the reasons ASU gave was that governing councils of universities were dissolved 1 year ago and they have not been reconstituted. And ASU said, no, we can't take it. So we're giving the federal government 14 days ultimatum to appoint governing councils over these institutions. And the government responded swiftly, I would say, considering the credible threat by ASU to go on strike on this matter and other matters. So we will say, well, it is good that the federal government has responded promptly, but we could have avoided this if we had done this a long time ago. What is the big deal about appointing people to governing councils of universities and federal polytechnics and federal colleges? Some of us receive phone calls to submit our CVs and all that, and we refuse based on our own principles, and all that. But it is not a big deal to appoint governing councils. It should not have taken 1 year. But be that as it may, we have governing councils for 111 federal institutions across the country. 50 federal universities, 37 federal polytechnics, and 24 federal colleges of education. Now, some of the institutions still don't have governing councils. I would probably understand why, because some of them are just new. The universities that were just newly established between 2023 and now, like Federal University of Agriculture, Mubi, Federal College of Education, Federal University of Education, Kano, and all such. They are not on the list. About 12 federal universities don't have governing councils, and I understand that probably because they're just beginning, but I think that is going to come with time. But these 50 universities now have governing councils out of 62 federal universities on the NUC list as approved federal universities in the country. And then we have 37 polytechnics and 24 federal colleges of education. We hope that the government can expedite action to also appoint governing councils for the few remaining. I know that's not going to bother us much because most of the universities have already been taken care of. But of course, ASU has other demands. So I think it is high time that these governing councils move into action. I know they'll be inaugurated on the 30th and 31st of May. We are talking about 555 people now that will be eating from the national cake, because that's what I see this as an opportunity for many people to eat from the national cake. Because to me, some of these appointments are not really necessary. The number of people we appoint and all the bureaucracies that go into it. We have some universities around the world, and they don't have so-called governing councils. They have a small body of people that take care of the activities. And some of the universities, people even do the work on voluntary basis. Universities have senates. They have university managements. Then we have governing councils. Well, this is part of our own system here in Nigeria. So that is all right. And I think it's all right when you have 555 people who take something from the national cake. Hopefully the money can spread around the country. But let them really move into action. Because what I see in the past is that many of these governing councils are redundant.
Right.
They're just there, but they're not really doing anything. Once in a while they come, they have meetings, but it is just a jamboree and just collecting their allowances, and all that. I hope that they can come up with policies, visionary policies for those various universities, and let those universities be truly autonomous, independent, and focus on problem-solving research supported by these governing councils.
Okay,
you know that these various universities, they're going to add some other members also from the various universities, like the Senate will be represented, the congregation, and all that in the various universities. So that will raise the number beyond the 555 that we currently have. But what we want is action, and less of talk.
Yes, sir. Prof, national cake is one of the factors that help and contribute in terms of bringing about national development. And so, yes, and thank God, a good number of people are said to have participate in national cake, whatever as it is. But then, it is by national cake that you partake that you'll be able to make your wonderful contributions. And that's what Prof is saying. We want to see them move into action so that we'll see development, things happening. Maybe Barrister will now take us on sports issue. He's not prepared for this actually because, but anyway, let's just have a piece from you because of our time actually. Maybe from just politics, I would have loved also to say we commiserate with the family of John Galadima Godia, who lost his wife somewhere in Rikubarot just recently. They've been married, I think, less than 2 years now, and he lost his wife. John Galadima is a peace advocate. He loves to see people living in peace, and he has a song on that. Our heart goes with you. Thank you.
Since you're bringing condolences, also let me seize the opportunity in the interest of time to commiserate with my friends from Iran because the Iranian president, Ebrahim Raisi, has been confirmed dead along with the Minister for Foreign Affairs and other officials in a helicopter crash at the border with Azerbaijan. He was going to Azerbaijan for a function to commission a dam, and then the bad weather and other factors affected the helicopter and it crashed. Other two helicopters carrying other officials were able to arrive safely. So we commiserate with our friends, the Iranians. I have a lot of Iranian friends. In fact, when I was in Southeast Asia, when I arrived, my first friend was an Iranian. And then my second friend was an Iranian also. I found them there in Malaysia, and we're in touch with a number of them. In fact, one of them is on my own research team here in Nigeria, an NRF grant of TEDFON. And my friend Said Kodkodei is a member of that research team. So we commiserate with the people of Iran and send our condolences on the death of Ebrahim Raisi, the president of Iran, in that fatal helicopter crash.
All right. Thank you so much. Barrister, over to you.
Yes, I will also want to congratulate the Uruguay Nation as well as national, the curator of National Museum in Jos here for hosting a wonderful program. I was there live.
Oh, great.
Yes, I had a wonderful weekend. It was a
lovely
display of rich, colorful, and beautiful cultural heritage. In fact, I've even learned the Uruguay dance.
Oh, so my! Yes. Maybe after the show, Barrister.
So it was really a wonderful one.
Oh,
The NDLEA commandant was there. He gave a beautiful lecture about drug abuse because the program was dominated by youth from different. Uja of Anaguta was also there. He was a special royal father on that occasion. It was a wonderful program.
Yes,
so we congratulate the Uruguay Nation for a wonderful program and other Plateau tribes that came with rich cultural display. Exactly. I saw a lot of magic. So I believe that
water in a basket.
Yes, no, I saw water in the basket. The Anaguta people came with water in the basket.
You
the Jere people came with a young boy that is not up to 10 years. He was cutting himself with knife, and the knife was not.
Please don't try that, listener viewer. Don't dare try that.
it.
Thank you.
So it was really a wonderful weekend. I think that is the largest cultural gathering on the plateau, because you see people even from Adama. We had people who came and do their cultural display.
Yes.
So it was a wonderful thing. In fact, if you were not there at the museum on Saturday, you missed.
You missed out, except for
so
social
we
media.
congratulate the Uruguay nation once again, as we expect another museum day probably next year.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that is it. Just very quickly, and we end up on this because of time. We are stopping at 8:25 this morning. This one is saying, okay, Army rescues 386 civilians from Sambisa forest 10 years after abduction. This is one thing we've been talking about on this platform, the issue of insecurities. The military are doing their job right now. So, Prof, over to you. Just a minute.
It is 386. That's what Daily Post said. Vanguard said 387. Hostages have been rescued by the military. And for us, it is kudos to the military. Bravo. Job well done for rescuing 387 kidnapped victims, hostages that Boko Haram has kept in the Sambisa forest for 10 years. 10 years is a long time in the life of a person. Those who were kidnapped when they were 10 years old, they had already become men at 20. Those who were kidnapped when they were 20, they are already 30. So it's a long, long time, but we want to congratulate the military for this fantastic feat that they have been able to achieve. And this is what we've been talking about, going out on the offensive. Being proactive. I think the military is listening and they are becoming proactive. We hope that they can be even more proactive. They should not rest on their oars. They should keep advancing. Enter the territory, clear Sambisa forest of all the remnants of these terrorists. And then we'll have a fantastic nation.
All right, thank you very much, Prof. and Barrister in the studio. I truly appreciate your willingness to always be here when we call. And it's time for a commercial break. We'll be right back. Our listener and viewer, stay tuned.
Unity. Unity TV. Unity.
So much for staying tuned with us on this very dial. This is Unity 93.3 FM on your radio and TV. Thank you so much for always being there. Iji Adomo remains my name. You can just call me Kubi and I will be just fine. This is the second segment of the program Unity Train on your radio and TV this morning. Today happens to be Monday, the 20th day in the month of May, the year 2024. It promises to be very, very interesting. And so, I have in the studio someone who will be discussing about the talents and gifts that we have on the plateau. And I'm sure you are in a hurry, just like I am, to also get to start the discussion already. He is somebody who is very known, not only on the plateau, but of course, Nigeria and beyond. I have a comrade, Humphrey Irobu. He's popularly known as Kolo, a P-man governor of Plateau State Chapter. He is in the studio and seated to my right-hand side. I'll let him say a very big good morning to our listener and viewer right now. Comrade, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Plateau. Good morning, listeners. I'm so pleased to be here. Thank you.
All right. We'll be talking Plateau, right?
Yeah.
We talk Plateau in terms of talents. Now, you're one of those who is saddled with the responsibility of, you are an authority. What you say is what it is. What you say is what the world over takes as what truly is. So you are the mouthpiece, for Plateau people when it comes to the area you're handling. Now, as P-man governor, Plateau State Chapter, tell us about the talents, the gifts, the endowment that you have witnessed, tested, and so comfortable with on the plateau. I'm just in a hurry that I don't even want to let you tell me some more about P-man itself. But let's just start from plateau anyway.
Of course. I'm so delighted to be here to talk about the talent. Firstly, like the name implies, Plateau, home of peace and tourism.
And tourism.
It's a home of talent. It's a home of a bunch of talents. Plateau has been a home where a lot of talent has been exported. Like the likes of MI and Ice Prince and all that. It's just that we have been in music for a long time. Music and entertainment and talent on the plateau, it's like it's a raw untapped talent. There's no place or there's no area you will go on the plateau or a plateau that you won't see a talent. There are a bunch of talents. You either see someone, there's a musician, there's a rapper, there's a singer. It's a bunch of talents. So we just probably, I think plateau is where there are untapped raw talents.
Untapped.
Yeah.
I think I want to underline untapped. So now that you, an authority in this industry, saying untapped, so what do you think we ought to do? Who should do what so that these talents will be tapped?
Okay, Plateau has been a place where they think talents are not really discovered, but you know that the government, I'm not talking politics, but I think the previous government and in the past they neglected the industry, but I think currently you will see the changes that the new government is doing to see how to build back the entertainment industry. I think like the first in history appointing on a creative and a creative entertainment office, which is owned, which is occupied by barrister Israel Jinang. You see, they're trying to see how we can actually export artists from Plateau to other parts of the world, because soon we're trying to work with the government to see how we can export untapped, like I said, the untapped raw talent from Plateau to the world, because the government is trying to put an enabling environment for entertainment. You see, like the Lukabentu Indoor Theater, it's trying to take a good shape, a new shape. You see, a lot of things is trying to happen, because before now, there are the entertainment. It's like it's dying. There are no events, there are no shows, you hardly hear about events, but currently there are a lot of events. People pay a lot of money now to go for events. So we are trying to see how we can harness and see how we can boost up back the entertainment industry by going out to scout out for talents, discovering them back and see how we can export them across the globe. Piman is doing a lot, because Piman has a TV and a radio station that can be listened from 162 countries. So exporting artists from Jos, you can see that they can be known globally. So we are trying to go into the areas to discover these artists. Just here in Bauchi Road in Angwarukuba, you get a lot of raw talent. Like recently, there is Shanawa. There are a lot of artists who are coming up to bring up the name of Plateau, to put Plateau on the map. Okay, so we are just trying to see how we can put back Plateau on the map of entertainment.
All right, putting back Plateau on the map of entertainment, and you have established that the government of the day is doing at least relatively well at the moment to give attention to creative industry. Now, what should these very talented individuals on the Plateau, what do you expect them to do at the moment?
Okay, in every organization there is an umbrella. When you don't identify yourself as a profession, you have a profession and you don't identify yourself with a particular body, you won't be known. So and a lot of things, a lot of the world right now has gone globally. That's gone in a different shape. There are TikTok, there is Instagram. The artist himself, you should try as much as possible to showcase yourself, to help yourself, so that they can actually discover you too. You see, some artists, they like, especially in Jos, when they've done like a little, probably like one song, and they look like it's a hit, they start feeling like a superstar, and they relax already. So what I urge them to do is that you push more. Like,
so there's no room for relaxing and feeling okay. I'm a champion already on the Plateau, so let me relax. So you're saying there is no room for that?
No, because if you're relaxing, you're just known here on the Plateau. So the market is too big. If you just do a song and you feel that this is a hit, and you don't push for that, that's how you just keep being. I want to use the word local champion, because you're just being heard just here in the Plateau. But when you keep pushing and pushing, there are a lot of platforms that blows artists right now, like TikTok. TikTok is doing a lot of work to blow artists. So you see people, they just go around playing their songs. Once it's being played on radio, that's it. They don't go as far as promoting it, looking for avenue and identifying themselves with the right body, like Piman. Once you're in Piman, you're protected. You have the right, you are protected, you are advised, you meet a lot of international and your artists too, that can actually you learn because of the workshop and the seminars that's being carried out by the union. But some of these artists, they just feel that once they have the song and they're maybe probably it's been played in 3-4 radio stations in Plateau, and they feel that, okay, yes, I've made it, and they relax. So we urge them to push more and push more on social media platforms, and go out and travel out of Jos. Don't be comfortable in your space.
Okay.
Yes.
And now a comrade, Humphrey Collar.
Yeah.
Now, entertainment industry actually is one that the world cannot do without.
Exactly.
Yes, and that we are a people belonging to a culture.
Yeah.
And if you look at what we have today, you tend to be so, you are not so comfortable. Sometimes you don't want to throw some content to be able to have a family, view time where you even have your in-laws, because of how the pictures, you have people almost going naked, on most of the songs as we have them today. So what is P-Man doing to control some of these things at the moment and not to have it to be out of hand at all?
Okay. If you're conversant with the latest music coming out, unlike before, recently there's a reduction. There's the way of exposure of your body and going naked has reduced because of the new policy from the headquarters, which is the president. Comrade Pretty or Kafo, they're trying to work with other sensors body to see how to control most of these things. I put it to them that most times before now they feel that the entertainment industry, and before you become a super celebrity you must go naked. So there are a lot of seminars, workshop, orientations.
Yes, oh, I see.
Yes,
Right.
that is going up to make you understand that, most especially in drugs, because most artists feel that it's when you're on drugs you feel that you can write.
When you are high,
yes,
then you can
actually do.
you can do the
So
song.
a lot of things, a lot of workshop is going on, a lot of collaboration with the NDLEA and all the bodies that matters. We're trying to see how we can control most of these things that goes outside. You see, like recently you hardly see songs that is being naked and all that, unlike compared to before. So because now it's being controlled, a lot of workshop, a lot of censor, a lot of things happening to control most of these things.
Right, I see. Oh, that's lovely. Now, what about we have a culture now? Back again to that question. How can you encourage artists, musicians, singers to promote our culture as a people? It's like we are gradually, leaving our own identity as a people. Just trying to copy to be Western in most of our songs. Well, that might not be bad, but there are some key things like maybe costume and the language also. It's like we are leaving that, which of course is our identity. So what encouragement do you have so that we don't get that wrong?
All right, that's a very good one. Like I said, music has taken a different shape this time, unlike before. You see, Africa, it's one of music in Africa, it's especially Nigeria, it's one of the biggest exports. Okay, and I think all over the world, people dance more of African music. They vibe more on African music, because African music, especially Nigerian music, has taken almost all over the world. Unlike before, you see Nigerian music, the video, whiskey, those are the people that they call now in music, in concerts and in events. Why? Because we have actually portrayed our culture. Because now you can see a white person singing in Yoruba language, you can sing Davido's song, you can sing in Igbo language, you can sing in HAUSA language, despite the fact that they don't even know what they're talking about. If you're more conversant on social media like TikTok, there's a song that is from Jos, the one that said Daddy Kasheni, they were highlight Daddy. A lot of it has gone viral that people don't even know what it says, but because of the vibe, they want to vibe to it, because music is a one language, because Nigeria, they're trying to proceed to project our culture. Unlike before, they are projecting the culture of Africa. You see them putting on the wears, African wears, trying to project it. And if you go outside, they love the Americans, the Asians. They want to vibe with Nigerian music.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's lovely. I too like it. We are multicultural a nation.
Yeah.
So you have different ethnic nationalities, languages, people in this country. But of course, it has been either Igbo, Yoruba, or Hausa.
Yeah.
You hardly hear, well, maybe these days of Fulani, but we have others. For us on the plateau, you can't do without just getting to have a touch of Birom language.
Yeah.
and a few others as well. So is it like an identity that if you don't tilt to it, you will not be accepted out there?
If you don't tilt to the
To singing, and then singing also in Igbo, in Yoruba, or in Hausa. If it's any of these languages that are said to be minority of the minority,
yeah.
is it that you will not be accepted out there?
Yeah,
That it has to be Igbo, Hausa, or Yoruba?
Okay, you know, I think it comes from where the music is coming from.
Okay.
You know, if the for example, we're talking about Biron. You know, I love what an artist from Just it's doing, which is named Dex D. Okay, Dex D is someone that sings more. I think he sings more in Biron. All right, so if he as a person and other people who sing in that language is being projected, okay, you can see that another language is coming out.
Yes, it's coming out.
It's coming out from a
Yes.
different place. But I think it's not that you must sing in Yoruba, Hausa, or Igbo.
Before.
Yes, before. But because you have not actually promoted and projected
That very own language, yes.
Okay, so I like what they're doing, especially on the plateau.
Yes.
They are singing with that language from the plateau and going out there. They love it because they don't even know what that is all about. But the rhythm, it's capturing. It's amazing. So that is just it.
Oh, thank you very much, Comrade Humphrey. Irobu, Colon, I prefer to go by that because I'm a witness. I'm a witness to that.
Thank you so much.
Yes, but listener, viewer, it's not time for break yet, but I just feel it's good to just talk to you at this moment in person. And so thank you. We've been joined in the studio to my left-hand side this morning by another big man in the industry. I'm talking about, permit me to say Mr., but you can also say Comrade, Alfred Baker, Jume, okay, Chairman, Actors Guild, Actors Guild of Nigeria, Plateau State Chapter. He has been an actor with decades of experience, ICSS certified trainer and facilitator, a serial entrepreneur, and of course a principal partner, now Gas Energy Humanitarian. He'll be saying a very big good morning to our listener and viewer. You're welcome in.
Oh, thank you very much,
Yes,
Mr. Colby.
Yes.
Good morning, viewers. Good morning, listeners. It's sincerely a huge privilege to be here. I consider it a privilege because, you know, if there are no viewers, if there are no listeners, we that are seated here, our aim is defeated. So being out here to, you know, speak to the general populace and have you guys listen in on what we have to say, what we have to contribute to, you know, the ongoing discussion is totally a privilege.
Yes, it is.
So nice to be here. Thank you very much.
All right, today I have my own president. You know, being a graduate of a film institute, it tells you that I have two of my main, you know, authorities. I'm covered. You see, so now I won't let you catch your breath because we're talking Plateau here.
Oh, yes.
And this is home of raw talents, untapped. Before you came in, sir, Kolo just confirmed the fact that raw talents on the Plateau, they are not just raw, but they are untapped. So what do you have on this angle in a brief?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm very delighted to have my, you know, fellow comrade here, Comrade Bobby Color. He is doing a phenomenal job, and I am happy that, you know, we have strong hands like this in the industry to, you know, move to change the face of the game. Yes, we have a lot of raw talents, no doubt. We have a lot of raw talents, and like you rightly said, untapped. You know, every angle you go to, you discover one person has one thing to put out or the other, especially with regards entertainment. Speaking personally from my own experience, you know, times I put out job vacancies in my office to say, okay, I need a staff to come, you know, man one or two areas of my office. I get one or two boys, and eventually, when I begin to involve myself in their lives, because I usually do that, I get to discover that these guys are phenomenal when it comes to, they have loads of wonderful tracks, songs, talking about, guys, music artists that, would blow your mind when you listen to it. In fact, even on my way driving here, I was listening to one, and like, their genre of music is phenomenal, I will tell you the truth. So talking about untapped talent here in the city, sincerely, that is the truth. And we yearn to have a platform, thank God for what P-Man is doing, but we yearn to have a platform where these talents can be, harvested, can be harnessed, and, can be put out there into the market, can be showcased, so that, they can begin to get value for this inherent talent. That's talking about talent in music. Now talking about talent in film, in the acting, the motion picture industry. Recently we had a 3 days free training from the 6th to the 8th of May. We put that out to, just give to the society, to have people come in and learn for free. For free. Not just did we have film related, and also have connection. Exactly. Not just did we have film related disciplines, we equally, put out sustenance skills as well, to include even organic cream making, organic soap making, and so on and so forth. The essence of doing this was just to ensure that, okay, because we know that money fuels talent. That's the truth. We can't run away from that. So
yes, I was actually coming to that. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you. So we decided to bring that in so that, artists can afford to learn, people can afford to learn, have these skills, to be able to fuel and drive their talent, to sponsor their talent. So we had loads of people coming. Trust me, we had an audition at the end of the whole workshop, and I saw phenomenal talents. Again, trust me, I saw loads of actors that, man, they wowed me at just auditioning them at the spot. They were phenomenal. And thank God for our partners that have begun to put out content out there on Africa Magic. They were there. In fact, they were the ones that even did the audition. All right. So a lot of these persons were handpicked, and they're going to be featuring in a movie at the end of the month. All right. See. So in Jos City. Yes, in Jos City. All right. In Jos City, and we equally had a producer all the way from Kaduna that was part and parcel of the entire process, the entire workshop. Okay. And he is going to, in fact, he originally intended to film in KD. But because of what he saw, he said, I'm bringing this production to Jos. To Jos. Your talents here are exceptional. Okay, I just don't want to let you land on that, because there is one other aspect of harnessing talents and gifts as we have it in Jos and on the plateau generally. Now, you also have this aspect of it. You have parents having to deal with their children, because they are displaying some sort of talent that has to do with either film or singing. And so it is over the years understood as, if someone is over unproductive, if you have chosen to be a life of unproductivity, then you now go to be into film and music. That has been the narrative. That has been the orientation and understanding to our parents. And now I know that this program, my listener might be a parent and who doesn't want to affiliate or have anything to do with his child, tilting to want to do music or film. What is your words to my listener, a parent listener? Okay, dear parents, that may have spotted your child tilting towards the angle of entertainment, I will tell you one thing: do not deny your child that thing which comes easily to them, that thing which is inherent in them. You see, when it comes to talent can never be thrown away. You may coerce that child to become a doctor, to become a nurse, to become a lawyer, but I tell you, they will continually tilt towards that thing that is already inherent in them. I see. I would use someone as an example during our 3 days free workshop. I tell you, he's in the military. He's in the military. He was at the workshop. But he came to the workshop. He was, in fact, the guy speaks phenomenally well. He said, look, man, you just know that this is who he is. So parents, gone are the days where you think the ones that are tilting towards entertainment are irresponsible. Trust me, messages are driven through music, through film. Messages to change the society, messages that will shape the society. I'm sure we've seen quite a number of persons that, notable examples, I don't want to begin to mention names, that are doing phenomenally well, changing the narrative, using their arts and crafts to shaping the society, So please do not deny your parents the golden opportunity to exercise what is naturally inbuilt or inherent in them.
Okay. Before you say some more, I would love to have Bobby Color to just give us this in now. Very truly. What do we do? At the point now, there are raw talents. And for us on the plateau, our situation is peculiar. We are in for a big deal. We are home of peace and tourism. You have established that at the introductory level. Home of peace and tourism. And we have had it in the past. Thank God right now, we have learned our lessons. And I can see the shower of sustainable, peaceful coexistence relatively. So what do you advise that as music, artist gets to do? What should they do to promote peaceful coexistence on the plateau and beyond?
All right. First of all, I want to say the shape and the level at which PMAN and it's going about trying to promote music on the plateau. First of all, I want to give kudos to the Department of Head of Task Force, which is Comrade Finai, and the Provost, which is Watchard or the Lawbreakers. You see, these are the offices, these are the places. We are trying to see how, events organizers, promoters, or they just come down to Jos. What they do is they come down to Jos, they use the facility, they're being paid, and they go back. So, and the talents here in Jos, what they do is they just go for event and they tell them that they give them platforms. Now, gone are the days when you just come down to Jos on the plateau and said you just want to do an event and you use the artists, the raw artists that can grace your stage, that can pull your crowd, and you say you're giving them platform. So we're working with the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Hospitality right now to see how we can export this artist. So if you're coming from outside Jos, doing an event in Jos, there are rules and regulations. There are things you do. First of all, you must use the local artists, and they must be paid. And if you're coming to do a free event or to say you're giving them platform, then you must come with record labels. You must come with platform that will export this artist. So we're not saying that the artists, they're also trying their own part to promote themselves. But we have, as a union, we have to see how to help this artist too. So you can't just come down to Plateau and say you want to do an event and you take out money, you don't pay tax, you don't do things, you leave the state and you go outside Jos without impacting on the artist. So we are trying to see how there can be collaboration with the local artists and the international artists coming into Jos to do an event. And we're urging, there are a lot of seminars. Like I saw what Comrade Baker has been doing, man, it's marvelous. It's, trying to empower this creatives, letting them understand that it's not just about their talent. You should have something else that fuels your talent. Okay, so we are also picking that from
that's
from
lovely.
them,
That's
because
lovely.
artists, most musician thinks is just being a musician without any side hustle. Okay, so I think the artists too should sit up and see how they should also promote themselves on social medias. TikTok is blowing a lot of people. Most of these artists you're seeing today, the likes of Rema and this new upcoming artists, it's through TikTok and most of it.
All right, thank you. It's time for a very short break. When we come back, you will again be telling me how can artists, whether in music and movie, promote peaceful coexistence. So thank you, our listener and viewer. It's time for a short break. We'll be coming back. Please stay tuned.
Get ready to be entertained and inspired by the incredible stories around the globe. Don't miss out on the excitement. Hello at Work is an ultimate TV program that brings to you the interesting stories and daily happenings worldwide. Join us Mondays and Thursdays 10 a.m. as we dive into the daily happenings and stories. Tune in and stay. Say hello to the world as you bring in your ideas, as it is a perfect blend of entertainment and information. Get ready to stay up to date while being entertained.
Are you bored and need some company? Get a TV experience like no other on Unity TV. We are turning up the hits with captivating TV shows, electrifying political programs, music, movies, and lots more that will leave you craving. I'm sure you want to know more. Tune in to Unity TV today and let the excitement take over.
The studio just could not stop but appreciating each other because of the enthusiasm, discovered in each of them. And so do I. I really want to already start saying thank you to the two guests that I have in the studio, and most especially my listener and viewer right now. It's Unity Trend on Unity 93.3 FM and TV, and this is the last segment of the program this lovely Monday morning. And so we've been talking talents on the plateau, okay, raw, untapped. And here are the two men whom saddled with the responsibility of making sure that these talents are harnessed, discovered, harvested, whatever it is that you have, and promoted so that you can make your cool money and pay bills. That's what it is. Thank you so much. The studio line remains the same, and you can join us on our Facebook page, and you get to see these two gentlemen on our Facebook page at Unity Radio FM/TV Jos. Ijiadomo remains my name. Call me Cool B, and I'll be just fine. Lovely. In 2 minutes of your time, my viewer and listener, before you start the calling, I would love the guest to tell me, or tell you rather, what to do to promote peaceful coexistence, because I won't let them go out of the studio without giving us this. I'll start with Bobby Brown. Caller.
Yeah, thank you. You see, I started from the music industry. Music is one language. It doesn't have either a religion or tribe. It's just a language that you speak that everybody understands. Either you understand the lyrics or you understand the rhythm. All right. So I think through music is one of the biggest tools to promote peace and coexistence among, especially the youth. All right. So I think like I said earlier, there's a song that is trending that I love so much that they said, Daddy Kesheni and all that. Even if you don't even know what the lyrics are all
but
about.
you want to go with the...
You understand? You want to go with the rhythm because it brings people together. You don't really know who it is and all that. So I think we should mostly use our music to preach peace and not to preach war. Yeah.
Oh, lovely. Thank you so much, a comrade, and another comrade again to my left. Now, so what do we do to, take our films to promote our identity? Because our identity, of course, is peaceful coexistence.
That's right.
So what do we do, especially on the plateau?
Oh, beautiful. First of all, I would say even the name of this organization is titled
Unity
FM. Unity FM. You see, there's something about unity that cannot be taken away from the equation. Where there is unity, there's progress. And where there's progress, there's development on all fronts. Now, looking at, the motion picture industry, to be precise, as a panacea for, peace and development. Just like my comrade said, when it comes to entertainment, it is one language.
It is one language.
There's a famous song that's been hitting the airwaves, and one of the lyrics says, "Music no need permission to enter your spirit." It doesn't take permission from you.
Yes.
You could be listening to any song. In fact, trust me, the song I was listening to while I was, coming to this place is a song that is already blazing the trail in Kano. It's titled Takarawa by one of ours known as Edge Goldbado. And the lyrics, like, look, sometimes I just sleep, I wake up and I'm even...
You're already,
the
your
lyrics
spirit is
playing
taking.
out. Do you understand? So,
All right.
you see, it is one language when it comes to the motion picture industry, when it comes to music, it is one language. Like I said recently, with the free training that we had people from the Mopan, we had people from Kannywood. Everybody came together. I had even the vice president of Mopan present, and it was one big family.
Oh, I see.
When it comes to the motion picture industry, Actors Guild of Nigeria, we do not know religion. It is a non-religious organization because it's not about religion, it's about oneness, it's about promoting unity through our craft. And we have churned out loads of films that have shown, look at one of the trailblazing films of recent, A Tribe Called Judah. A single mother that had kids from different fathers that had different ethnicities and different religious inclination. But in the end, what did it speak? It was unity, triumph. Because you see, when it comes to peace and unity always triumph over disunity.
Yes.
So we're using the motion picture industry to promote peace, to promote oneness, and using it as a panacea for peace and development. Definitely, basically.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm so glad already to hear this from you and our listener. The studio line is 070-3235-3315. You can be a part of it. If you call, just tell me your name and location. You go straight up in 1 minute. Let's have your submissions. Remember, comments made on this platform are not in any way the position of Unity 93.3 FM. And again, you must again tilt towards supporting our vision of promoting peaceful coexistence. That is to say, stay away from comments and statements that have in their nature the capacity to undermine the integrity of either my guest, individual or group of individual, or any staff of this very humble organization. Thank you. Once again, the studio line is 070-3235-3315. I understand sometimes it's very difficult. For over a year, somebody said he has been trying to reach us on this line for 1 year. He hasn't been able to get us even for once, but I apologize. It's not my making. Keep trying, and I'm sure one day we'll be the luckiest to have you call us on this very program. So let me just begin by the text messages that I have in here. Good morning, Kubi and the guest in the studio. Kudos to the guest. Honestly, our youths on the plateau are blessed with different talents, only that they are untapped. The government really needs to create an enabling environment for them to thrive. Most times, these talented youth are not encouraged or supported, and when they leave here to somewhere else, they are actually supported, and so they continue to grow and grow the economy of such places. I think it's time we convince people we are really the home of peace and tourism. Peace is priceless. Let's live in peace. God bless Unity FM and Nigeria. Christy Izang from Rukubaro. Thank you, Christy Izang. And another one here says, good morning, Kobe and the good guest. Thank you for the wonderful and impactful analysis, most especially the morning devotional taught by the Prof. May God bless you all. Anas Larento. Thank you, Anas Larento. Prof will always ask to know about their goals, and so he's saying he appreciates that. Very big good morning, Unity FM, Kobe, Prof B, and Barrister Zaruma. The weekends was very exciting with several events and was very peaceful. We give glory to God. My regards to the guest in the studio, and also want to wish a quick recovery to Luca Adam, Daniel Adam, Danladi Carbon Satellite Market, one man, one farm, one woman, two farm. I think I love that. Thank you, Daniel. And again, on our Facebook page, just take a ride in there to see what we have for some comments and messages right now. Before even that, okay, very quickly, this one is from Aliu Mazase. Good morning, Professor B could be, and Barrister Zaruma, may Almighty Allah bless you all for always motivating us. Thank you so much. Aliyu Maza, thank you so much. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Kudu.
Thank you for calling. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. God continue to bless you.
I say amen to that.
Thank you very much. You see, my take this morning.
Yes.
It's on this issue of entertainment.
All right.
Back then, when you want musician, you see parents discouraging children from saying, no, don't be a musician because they see, it is not, the music is not for responsible children. But presently now, honestly speaking, you see a musician driving luxury cars, using good loudly.
Yes.
And even go to the extent of even sitting with the president.
Yes.
So I just want to see that we encourage our children. Whatever the little talent they have, let's support them. And on the plateau, you will see that why is Lagos getting it right? Lagos is getting it right because they are having good managers and they are just supporting the entertainment industry.
All right.
So Plateau State is still doing better. So we can still do more.
Okay.
In line with the governor we have.
Okay.
That is a project governor. If you can still give us a minister in the entertainment industry, you won't give it to the entertainment industry to that been a welcome development.
All right.
Continue to bless you for your good.
Amen. That a caller has Mr. Delmi from Bauchi Road here. Thank you, Delmi. Yes, parents will say, no, don't do that. But once the boy persists and becomes, heated, he'll be the one introducing himself. That child that is singing is my son. All right, good morning. Hello, all right, please, if you're calling us, stay away from whatever device you're using to monitor sound so that it doesn't interfere unnecessarily. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, 07032353315 is the studio line. I'll be very happy to hear from you this morning as we're talking about talents, our youths. Earlier on, Bobby Callow talked about not until you are high before you sing high. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Thank you. Your name?
I'm Gimba calling from Army Engineer.
Gimba, it's good to have you. You have a minute.
I just want to appreciate you for your good work.
Thank you.
Sir, please, can you help me with the text message number?
All right, I'll do that. Just keep listening. I'll do that.
Yes, I have the pen with me now. I want to write.
Thank you very much. 0808.
Yes, sir.
478.
0808, I put.
478.
Sir?
478.
Okay, 478, yes, sir.
The rest is 9. 9 in 4 places. 9999.
Okay, 399. Thank you.
4. Not in 3, but in 4. All right, 07032353315 is the studio line. In case you want to be part of our conversation today, we're talking about talents in JOS. You see, it matters a lot because when you're into singing, you're into film, you have the opportunity to shape the society. If you want to be a part of those who are active participants in shaping our society, then you have to be a contributor. You have to also call us on this line. Let's see how we can make it great, even from the plateau. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for calling.
Good morning, and yes,
you're welcome. Good morning.
In fact, I'm happy for this topic because I keep in Nigeria that God has given us talent.
All right.
Talent.
Okay.
You talk about Paradita. You know that in the whole state, in the whole Nigeria, Plateau State is number 1 in Paradita. Honestly, in terms of car, Plateau State is number 1.
Yes.
So you go to Dreaming, you see their handwork. You think that the original mess whereby it's the first one. Thank you, honestly. May God bless our people like you.
Thank you.
And God bless our Nigeria. Bless our Plateau State.
Thank you very much. Mr. Kingsley Barnabas, popularly known as Nahu. They do us, calling from Terminus. And this morning, a text message. This one is from Anas T. Umar. Say, good morning, Kubi, and the guest in this house. What a full house of important people. Kudos to you all. Kubi. Right from the day one, Plateau State has to be the in situ of talents. I remember back in the days when we used to go to cooking church, Sarkin Mangu for rehearsals, but all this cannot be possible without peace. We are praying for sustainable and permanent peace in Plateau. Oh my, you're giving me some feelings of bad old days. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you very much. My name is Sadiq Kumar from TUNTBE.
Sadiq Kumar, let's have you in a minute. Go on.
Yeah, I will comment on that. You have spoken very, very well.
All right.
And you have brought a very important contribution to the community today.
Okay.
Entertainment is very, very, let's say, big development, especially in Plateau State, which we have been blessed with a lot of talent at the grassroots.
All right.
There is a bit of collaboration of the local government at the grassroots with the state government, so that they can make sure that they have uplift entertainment in the Plateau State. By collaborating with the National Film Institute and other organizations that are included in the entertainment.
Okay.
So it is a very, very good one that we have blessed with this governor that everywhere you have the same policy on this.
All right.
Entertainment. We are calling on the government and those that are the entertainment agency. Make an entertainment background so that they can sell us more, so that the entertainers from Black people will reach to the world without going to Lagos or any other place.
I love that. I love that. I love that, Sadiq Umar. And on Facebook again, this one is from Owl My Glass. Say, good morning, Unity FM. Wow, lovely. Thank you. And another one here says, Ismail Isa, good morning, Mr. Kobi. Good morning, Professor PH Bamayi and Barrister and your guest. Amazing, fantastically culture. It was identified every tribe and ethnic groups from their original heritage manner. Really, without the culture, you have no sources of belonging. Indeed, even our holy religions, Islam and Christianity, support cultural heritage because it brings entertainment and peace among people. I wish all pilgrimages, pilgrims, receive a return and make a lot of prayer to have peace in the country and the Plateau State. Thank you, at Ismail is just. This one is from Odo, and he's saying, I'm pleased with the guest in the house. May God help them and increase their knowledge. That's a prayer, right? And I say amen to that. Thank you, Ododo. And Favor Esther Bulu saying, good morning, Kubi, and the professor, the barrister, and the studio guest. God bless you both for the great work you are doing out there. And God bless Unity FM, Plateau State, and Nigeria at large. Thank you so much. We have a lot, but I think this is the much we'll be able to take today because I need also to have my guest in the studio to respond to some of this, and then we call it a day for today. We begin to respond, and I go straight out to my left-hand side. I have, I prefer to go by Bobby Color. All right. D-Man.
Thank you so much.
Governor, yes.
I think,
response.
One of the callers said, he made a good point, talking about how you can create an enable environment for entertainment to thrive on the plateau. I think one of the basic thing the governor is trying to do is to create that. The indoor theater has been there for a long time, and I think that is one of his things, his goal and the project that's going to look into, because once this theater is done, the film and music will thrive. Just imagine that the whole Jaws, probably they're having a theater event, maybe a movie shot in the theater, and they're having a music concert. You see a whole of Unity, people coming up and to grace people. You're bringing up probably like a record label, promoters to come around and watch. Back in the days, that theater is a place where you get to see artists, you get to see actors and all that. So I think the governor and this government is trying to see everything possible to revive entertainment on the plateau. It is the first time of creating an office called Creative and Entertainment, to show that he is very focused in building entertainment on the plateau.
He's deliberate, I think. He's aware of the talents as well.
Exactly,
That's why the creation of that office. So, still on response to some of these calls.
Okay, thank you very much to all of the callers, everyone that has sent in, SMSs. We really appreciate you. You see, like one of the callers said, it is a collaborative effect. Collaboration does everything. One of my mantras is, a broomstick sweeps best in a bunch. When we come together, we do better. Exactly. I'm grateful for, like my colleague said, I'm grateful for His Excellency, Governor Mr. Caleb Mutfwang. This is the first time ever an office has been created for creativity and entertainment. And we'll have an SSA, Barrister Ezra Jinang, man that office. That's a huge pointer to show that, His Excellency is really keying effectively into the entertainment sector to see how all of these talents can have a platform to be exported. I listened to one of the callers, I think the one that called from TTNT. He said something. He talked about collaboration. Thank God for the Nigeria Film Corporation. Right now we have one of our very own in the person of, Dr. Ali Nuhu as, the managing director of the Nigeria Film Corporation. I was super delighted. I could remember my first movie shot in the city of Jos. It was an Amsterdam Malta box office movie titled Sitanda. I was a palace guard and I had to lead. Sitanda himself was Ali Nuhu. That was one of his breakout movies, and I ushered him into the palace. And it came a time when he got this appointment by by His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and we had to usher him even into office. I'm very grateful because Dr. Ali Nuhu is one person that he's an actor. He has seen and understood the plight. So, the appointment was met with great joy because this is somebody that, carries the nerves of the actor, feels the pains of the actor, and is willing and ready. His ears are always open. His doors are always open to collaborate. So I think with what we have in place, with, His Excellency, that is entertainment conscious and entertainment driven as well, and the kind of people we have manning these offices, I think we're going to do a great job by the special grace of God and see how we can, drive entertainment from where it is to where we desire it to be.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Before we say bye-bye, I would love to begin to my right again. Let's just get to hear what would you have for our listener, even right now, as we get to leave the studio, as regards talents and as regards promoting peaceful coexistence as well.
Okay, first I'd say thank you to the listeners and the contribution they've actually made. First thing, I want to urge people. There's a caller that said we should support our talent. We can support talent from your home. You see your friend or your brother is talented, you can support him. Okay, take this to go to the studio and all that. And there are a lot of company and private people. You support entertainment. Once you support entertainment from Plateau, I think the rest should be a minor thing. Gone are the days. We know that yes, some people on the Plateau are trying to support entertainment currently, but we should do more. And we urge our callers that soon, very soon, just soon, entertainment on the Plateau is going to take a good shape. Yes.
Okay, you'll be telling us about your effort to bring about disability inclusion, to be deliberate about that. You'll be telling me, but before then, I'll just turn to my left. And what would be your parting word if you have the opportunity?
Okay, my dear listeners, first of all, I'll let you know that the doors of the Actors Guild of Nigeria Plateau State Chapter is wide open, waiting for you to come in. You have content creators, you have actors in the making. Please bring them in. Let us groom them. Let us sharpen them. We have seasoned professionals. Let's sharpen them. Let's bring out the best in them, and let's portray them for the world to see what these ones have in them. Gone are the days where you have to wait for massive productions to come in with as much as a phone. you can do so much. And we have platforms that will boost you to take you to where you desire to be. So please, if you have any persons, please feel free to bring them in. Feel free to come through to us, and we will, harness these talents and put them on the right track. And finally, I would say, peace is the ultimate. And that is the reason why we are glad that entertainment, the motion picture industry, still serves as a tool, a driving force for peace and unity. So I would say, let's come together. Forget religious inclination. It has no weighing on us. What is paramount is love. And once we use our talents with the love we feel in our hearts for one another, I believe the sky is our takeoff point.
Well, thank you. You've listened to the parting word from Comrade Alfred Baker. Whole lot of people were not able to mention their names, but of course, you mean so much to us again, even as you're waiting at the receptions. See you tomorrow. Do have yourselves a lovely day.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee